Hey everybody, my name is Gerry, I'm from Wild Eye, and this is episode 66 of the Wildlife Photography Q&A video series. Johan,
How's it? Hello everybody.
how nice is this?
This is amazing. This is actually something that I've been longing for, and I'm sure you have, for a very long time. And we were actually discussing it the last few nights. I think it's a part of the experience that a lot of lodges are missing.
Yeah, big time. I mean, I think I've been to a couple of lodges in the last week or so. The one didn't have a fireplace.
No.
The other one had a fireplace, they never used it, but I mean, this is what it's about.
This is where it happens, you know, the stories get told around the fire, the bonds that get formed around the fire. I think it's
The drinks that get had around the
drinks,
fire.
you know, whether it's like before or after dinner, I think it's a must on any safari.
Yeah. So we can talk a little bit more about the experience at the end of this, but we have quite a few questions from you guys, so we're going to get right into it, starting now.
Mary, great question. It's more water, so elephants are not really territorial as such. They'll move around all over depending on where the water is and food availability. So now with most of the seasonal pans having dried up from the rains, there's permanent water holes, but there's not like little pans in the bushes as there would be during the rainy season. So the water behind you is actually quite clean. They've got it's like a cement dam that's been layered. So it's clean water there, and then for whatever reason, why they like chlorine water, I've got no idea.
I wonder if it's like flavored water to them, because I mean they all come here. I know if you feed at some dams, the elephants frequent the inlet because they know
Yes.
that's where the fresh water comes
water,
from. There's not like baboon piss and mud and stuff in it. But I said to someone today, I think for them to drink this water is like us drinking soda, like a Coke or something.
Yeah.
Like it tastes better, but it's not nice for you, or it's
Yeah.
not good for you.
Yeah,
But yeah, they're not
expensive.
territorial, so I think it's just the water, hey, like you
Yeah.
say.
it's an amazing experience, you know, to see them coming to the pool. I don't know if you guys saw some of the videos on social, but I mean Kelly was in the pool and like right next to them, and it's an amazing experience.
Yeah, it's amazing. So if you do come to Shimbalala, make sure you get in the pool when the elephants are here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next question. Okay, so from Johannesburg, it's simple. You get in your car, you drive for 5.5 hours, give or take, and you hear the road is pretty solid. I think there's 2 or 3 roads that you can get here.
Yeah.
One might be a bit shorter, but there's a lot of potholes. Alternatively, you can also fly in,
Yeah, very easy.
and that's it. Next
Yeah.
question.
Right, man, deep and rooty. Thank you. I think that's a great question. I think you know, no matter how many times you've seen wild dogs, if they have puppies like that, you know, you do get flustered, like we did in like the first morning that we saw them. I think my bit of advice would be to shoot a little bit wider, try and get all of them or as many as possible in a frame, because if you're going really tight, I mean, those little pups move all over the place. So start off wide, slowly make your way in closer.
I think also if you're not used to shooting stuff like that, any bit like migration is the same. There's
Yeah.
a shit ton of wildebeest. Is look through your viewfinder and think of it as a sniper. So you can look at the scene and there's everything happening, but you've got to think like a camera. So when you zoom in and you look through your viewfinder, you'll see stuff, and then
Yeah.
sniper those shots. If you're still confused, and I did this to someone recently on a safari, and you have a zoom lens, 100 to 400, you were shooting.
Yeah.
Shoot the scene on 100, then 200, 300, 400, 100,
Yeah.
2, 3, 4. And eventually you'll start kind of finding, not your rhythm, but where your eye is attracted to.
Yes.
But like Johan said, don't shoot too wide, too close. You can rather crop in.
Yeah.
And also, here's the thing. If you're not getting anything right and you're starting to force it,
Yeah.
put your camera down.
Yeah.
Take your iPhone and shoot a video.
100%.
That's it. But yeah, it can be tough. People think the more subjects there are, the easier it is.
No.
It's not.
No, and like that's what I was just about to say with the video as well. So I mean, if you're traveling with a partner and either the husband or wife are not into photography, give them the iPhone and let them take videos. It is absolutely golden. I mean, Kelly, who's with us now, she's not a photographer, but some of the videos that she got on her phone was amazing.
I've had moments on that where I look at my images and like, and while you're shooting, even you think, oh, I'm not sure I'm going to get this. And I look at someone's videos and like, shit, should have done that.
Yeah.
But yeah, don't zoom too tight.
Yep.
Done.
I think scared is a bit of a strong term. I think you respectful. I think once you lose
Yes.
that respect for wildlife, then there's an accident waiting to happen. Scared, I think, if you've been in the bush for a while, you learn to understand animal behavior. But I won't say scared. I think there's just that mutual respect that you have for the animals, and then the animals will give the same back to you.
I think it also keeps you safe.
Yeah.
That respect, the moment, and there's guides who go all gung-ho and they want to show off, but the moment you do that and you lose respect, I think then you should start getting scared.
Yes.
Because then you get into a place where you're compromising not just the animal but yourself.
Yeah.
And even worse if you're traveling with guests. So, not scared. When was the last time you were scared in the bush? Like, I'm sometimes scared you can't fit dessert in, but that's the main problem you have that you have at a lodge. I mean,
scared of getting to my room after 3-course meal and dessert.
But I can't remember the last time I was scared.
No, it's
careful, maybe, and respectful, but not scared.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think for us as well, it's something that we try and. It's one of my biggest things. We have a lot of people that come on safari that have this fear for elephants. It might have been from a bad experience they've had in the past or stories that they've heard, and I really enjoy trying to get them over that fear, trying to explain to them, look at the behavior and understand it.
Yeah.
Because once you do that, you'll know when an animal is upset. You'll give them more space. You'll respect them. They'll respect you. Everyone's happy.
Also, just to link that is, if you are in safari and your guide puts you in a position that makes you scared, you need to speak up.
Speak up.
Tell him he's a dick, and let him take you back to the lodge.
Yeah.
And then write in the feedback form.
Or TripAdvisor.
Even better. Moving on.
Done.
Well, it depends if you're looking at long, medium, or short term. Short term is to see how many glasses of wine I can drink tonight. No, I mean, what's my goal? Are you talking about us at the lodge? Because here we're creating content for them. What's my goal in life with fitness? I just want to be better.
Yeah.
What about you?
You want to be a better version? No. I mean, it's I think the goal is something. I'm not a person like, where do you see yourself in 20 years time kind of thing, because who knows what can happen. But I think my goals are changing constantly, and you're always trying to improve. You're always trying to better yourself, all those things. And I think for us now, with a lot of these content things, we can see we've become better. We've become more confident, more creative. So, I'm not going to give you all our goals because you might steal our ideas.
Well, with that said, I mean, issue_8172, maybe your goal should be to ask better questions. Because this is super vague. Moving on.
Callum, it's a great question. I think it's my favorite animal to photograph, no doubt, but they can be quite challenging. If you can get them at like sunrise or sunset, when that light is, or the sun is on the horizon, that's when you get that catchment in their eyes. If you go late morning or early afternoon, you just get that dark face. It's very difficult to get light in their faces.
Black on black.
And exposure point of view, because you have some whites in there, you've got the black, very, very, very difficult. So
can I ask you, from an exposure point of view, would you rather keep your blacks or your whites safe? Histogram speaking.
I would rather go the underexposed route and try and lift the shadows a bit than to try and sort of recover blown out highlights. That's it works for me.
And also what you said earlier on is don't zoom too tight, because when they move it's fine. When they're sitting still it's fine, but when they do move around, then it can be very easy to chop things off.
Yeah.
But exposure is the biggest thing there.
Yeah. And I think also understand their behavior. I think if you understand their behavior, if you see two dogs coming towards each other, there's a good chance they might sort of jump up and greet and play. So
animal behavior.
Animal behavior. Get to understand that, then you'll be able to be ready for those crucial moments before they happen.
100%. Next question.
So as far as I know, I think it's 2016, and I think it's a great move. I think a lot of people, everyone will have different opinions, but I'm all for dropping it and trying to open up the system as much as we possibly can.
Yeah, I mean, not to go too deep right now, we need to have more wine for that. But, I mean, having put fences up initially, we blocked a lot of stuff. So hopefully to open that up again. But yeah, so it's been, 6 years now?
Yeah.
Pretty cool. Next question. This is a tough one, because if you're coming for your first or second time, you want to come in winter time when the bush is sparse, thin, because you can see through it. I think once you have a bit of a portfolio, of general wildlife stuff in Africa, going in the green season, you've mentioned this in a couple of episodes now, the green season offers a very different type of image. So I think, again, to reverse engineer it for yourself and say, what kind of images do you want? My favorite is probably end of winter, and if I can pick it, I'd want to be there when the first rains arrive.
Yes.
But that's not just photographic. It is, because then there's nothing and everything's around the water.
Yeah.
But it's also just that feeling of petrichor.
Yeah.
The smell of rain hitting dry dirt.
Yeah. Exactly. I don't think I can't think of a season where I'd say, listen, I don't want to go to the bush for this month.
Yeah.
You know, it's great all year round. You know, you got colours in summer. Now, like the autumn, fall, beautiful colours in the trees. Like you've got the reds and oranges, and then winter, you know, it's generally quite dry. So you've got big concentrations around the permanent water sources. So every time of the year is amazing.
Yeah. Megs, when can you join us? Well, how fast can you send us an email?
Tomorrow?
Tomorrow. Send me a DM on Instagram. We'll get a WhatsApp, have a conversation. The question is not when. The question is, when can we get your availability?
Yeah.
When are we available?
Yeah.
People always, and this pisses me off a little bit. Here we go.
Okay.
Because a lot of people online, they talk. Oh, I wish I could. Oh, you're so lucky. When can I join you? Enough talk. Start doing.
Yeah.
Because these places even these places, they're running such cool specials now. You should be inquiring. You should be making a plan.
There's no better time to go than now. The lodges are quiet, so you've got the exclusivity.
Yeah.
Like you said, the specials they're running, and gaming is off the charts. Like we've shown it in the last few days. It is off the hook.
So,
it really is.
Megs, the place is amazing and the team here is really great, so are we. But when can I join you? You tell us.
And do it before it gets too busy again.
Big point. Big point. Keep in mind.
Yeah.
Next one. My answer is no.
No, I wish.
I wish too. Next question.
Maybe one day.
Maybe one day. Next question.
Never heard of it. If you can, send us a DM with a link, please. Would like to see what it's all about. Never heard of it.
Same. I don't know what. You say that. I'm not sure what to even imagine. Is it a lodge? Is it an area?
Feline fields.
Feline fields. Never heard of it.
I just imagine like this field of like cheetahs and leopard and things lying.
Yes, where they breed them or they grow them.
Don't breed canned animals.
No, watch it. No, sorry, I've no idea what that is.
No.
Send us direct messages, please. Thank you. Next question.
So here's the thing, right? People want the perfect recipe. If you want quality, you're going to pay for it. And rather save up then for another 2, 3, 4, 5 years and do it properly. Because everyone's looking for that perfect thing. You're not going to find amazing game viewing and cheap accommodation. It's just not, or you might, but you might be disappointed by that cheap accommodation then. Look, you can, I think the only thing is if you go and camp then in Botswana, like overland and go and camp in the Moremi or something like that. But lodges and things, do your research and speak to us. We can recommend things. But the cheapest route is not always the best way to go. I can promise you that.
In Afrikaans, goedkoop is duurkoop.
Yeah.
Buying cheap is actually buying expensive.
Yeah.
The thing, even with the camping thing, if you don't have a car and renting it, also adds up.
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't want that. They see what we do, and they think they want this. And like Johan says, you can't. If you go to a place that's cheap, right? Cheap is normally nasty, but if you go to a place that's cheap, there's other people also there who want cheap, and there's a lot of those people.
Yeah.
So you cannot have quality game viewing because here, for example, Thorny Bush and the way these guys run Shimbalala runs their game viewing, it's targeted, it's focused. We haven't had one sighting with more than 2 vehicles in it.
Yeah.
But if you go to a place where it's cheap, there's a lot of people, and the pressure on the animals is more.
Yeah.
So you're going to see more animals, more vehicles. The animals are going to bugger off because of the pressure being too high because you're paying too little. Like Johan said, I would rather, if you could go, I almost said reserves names like Mabula and stuff like that, but I won't. You can go to a place like that, right? Or if you have the option, rather go on self-drive to places like the Pilanesberg, save the rest of the cash, and then come to a place like this.
Yeah. End of year.
Yeah, your 4 or 5 days here will give you a better experience and more quality game viewing than 2 weeks in a cheap place.
Yeah.
I believe that.
And it's 100%. And I mean, today we just saw again. It's not just about just seeing the animals and just photographing them. It's about the entire experience. We spent the majority of the day tracking leopard today, and that anticipation of, here's the track.
It's part of the thing.
And the education you get out of it, the whole experience, being able to sit here, and you don't have to worry about anything. You don't have to go wash the dishes or go look for ice or pour your own drinks like when you go camping. Save up. Rather save up. There are cheaper options, but don't think rock bottom cheap like when you go on safari. It's not going to be worth it. And if you do it as a once in a lifetime thing, you don't want to leave disappointed.
No,
and
make it a once in a lifetime thing then.
Yeah, make it do it proper, and but like send us an email. We can give you a few options, and then go from there.
Yeah. Next question. Okay, so this is probably one of the questions that most people don't think through well enough before they ask it. Now, Carolina, I know you do a lot of stuff online. Your audience has grown quite dramatically over the last while. And you've put out some interesting reels, for example, how you process an animal's eyes or whatever the case might be. Now, before we get there, just stepping back, there are very, 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 very few people who are actually making money off pure, straight-up wildlife photography.
Yeah.
I actually don't think I can think of one.
No.
Who just goes into the field, photographs, and makes money.
Yeah.
I literally can't think of one. They're doing books, they are selling tutorials, some of them are hosting safaris, so there's a lot of other stuff. You need to look and see how you can monetize the product of your photography.
Yeah.
I mean, selling prints, oh, good Lord. If I see another person adding, I want to sell prints to my bio, I might just drown myself in that water hole.
No.
You need to see what you're good at. You, Carolina, I mean, I'll add your feed on YouTube link, but you are good at explaining your wildlife. So look at monetizing that.
Yeah.
We are good at hosting safaris. To do wildlife, we're monetizing that.
Yeah.
If someone's good at writing a book, monetize that.
Yeah.
Don't think as wildlife photography as the core. You cannot commoditize that.
No.
So what is the next step and the next step of wildlife photography that you can monetize? I think for you, for example, if you were to go and do professional tutorials,
Yes.
that might be a way to start for you specifically. But it's different for each person. I mean, you're quite comfortable on camera, others are not. Let me answer this. If you figure out how, let me know.
Yeah. I think the social media does baffle people with bullshit where people are traveling maybe by themselves around all over the place and give the impression that these guys are making a living just from their wildlife images. It's not the case. Like you say, there's probably maybe 2 or 3 guys that have been doing it from like the 1970s or whatever that still make money purely from their wildlife images. But you have to find that sort of niche that how people are going to benefit from it. There's other hosting safaris, or like Gerry said, with your teaching abilities, selling courses, whether it be on Lightroom or Photoshop or just the whole package from a photography point of view, or run safaris. But to be able to do purely wildlife,
do you think it's fair in saying, because I mean, even people who do what we do, they think they're competition.
Yeah.
Those people. Lead with value.
Yeah.
I think, and Carolina, your audience has grown dramatically, like I said, in the last while, because you seem to be doing your passion. You seem to be sharing your passion for wildlife photography. I would, if I were you directly, I would suggest keep doing that and see what comes to you. See what comes to you. Maybe someone says, maybe we like what you do, and we say, hey, listen, do you want to start co-hosting Mara trips? That could be something. If you keep on producing that kind of stuff, someone might say to you, hey, can you record a podcast for us?
Yeah.
We'll pay you for that. But I think keep on leading with your value and your passion. And we've said it today for a couple of reasons. Be the honey and let the bees come to you.
Yeah.
There's not many people in this game they've got patience sometimes to photograph an animal, but they haven't got patience for the long game of the business side of it.
Yeah.
Add value. Honestly, I think this is actually really good. Add value and wait and see what comes to you.
Yeah. And even maybe just as an idea, maybe hit up a few lodges, and try and get someone, whether it be one of the staff at the lodges, maybe you might know someone in the industry, get them to film you presenting your course, and then use that as marketing going forward.
Yeah.
And once you do 1 or 2 or 3, that will start snowballing, and you'll have more marketing content and ways to sort of promote yourself and your business.
Yeah. I think 100%. I think actually what you're saying now is we're interviewing for new guides now, not for this discussion, but people often would come and they want to work for us and like, oh look, here's my top 12 images. Nobody cares. I don't care. Can you host my people, teach my people, and kind of guide my guests? So for someone like you, if you add the value, right, not the photography of it, people aren't going to do business with an image. They're going to do business with a person.
Yes.
So be a more interesting person, be a person that adds value, and then the rest, I think, will follow.
Yeah.
Write that down. That's pretty good, actually.
And please, please, please give some information and then sell off the back of that. Don't just put a poster up and just sell without adding any value, because that's something that's happening quite a bit now.
And it's not sustainable.
It's just literally in your face. Come and join me. Come and join me. Come and do this. Come and do this. And there's no personality or any sort of warmth or love with it. It's a very cold kind of post. So
actually, as an interesting, a little while ago we did a live, or was it one of us did a live, and Carolina, you asked, and someone mentioned, and I said you want to be on the podcast, so hit me up with the direct message, Carolina, if you watch this, and let's chat and do this as a podcast, and we can discuss it and see where it goes.
Yeah,
that'd be quite fun. I think that's it.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No. It's been an amazing few days. Great to be back at Thorningbush. I think this place has really sort of blown me away. Like
the game viewing is sick.
Both times I've been there, it's never really been a place on my radar. But after 2 visits, I'm sold.
Yeah, same. I must be honest. The lodges here are great. There's a couple of diverse ones.
Yeah.
I like what the Shumbalala has. The game viewing I've been here a couple of times this year is just off the hook.
Yeah.
So if you're keen, let us know. I mean, our emails will be at the bottom here, but yeah, it's definitely worth a look.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's it. We are going to now say goodbye. We're going to finish our drinks, have dinner, maybe have another drink, and then photo off the stars over the lodge. But guys, thank you for watching as always. Thank you for your questions. If you have any other ones, start sending them through so long. Otherwise, we'll ask on Instagram again a couple of days out. But that's it for now. That's it for now.
Good.
My name is Gerry.
My name is Johan.
We're at Shumbalala and we're from Wild Eye. See you next time.
Cheers.
Bye.